everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Carlin. Today's class is yoga for rest days. So this class is perfect if you're an active person and you're taking a rest day from either lifting weights or doing cardio, just to take time to find some gentle movement, do some gentler stretches. This is also good for any time of day, any day, when you just need a little bit of movement, a little stretch to kind of let go and relax a bit. If you'd like music to go along with this class, you can go to my Spotify. I'll link it below. It's CMN5225, and you're looking for the playlist December Gentle. We'll get started in a seated position, and we will be doing a breathing exercise where we will be touching our nose. So please make sure you wash your hands. To any comfortable seated position for this breathing exercise. I just like to sit in a simple cross-legged seat. My spine is nice and long, my shoulders are soft down my back, my hips are stacked right underneath my shoulders are stacked right underneath my ears. So for this breathing exercise, we're going to start by taking a deep breath in through the nose, and to exhale, let it out through the mouth. Now, using your right hand, we'll use our ring finger and our thumb. So we'll use the ring finger to close off the left nostril and the thumb to close off the right nostril. So you'll start by closing off the right nostril with the thumb. You're going to breathe in through the left nostril. Hold that breath at the top. Close off the left nostril with the ring finger. Release the right nostril and send the breath out through the right nostril. Then you're going to inhale through that same right nostril. Close it off with the thumb. Hold it. Exhale through the left nostril. Again, inhale through the left nostril. Hold it. Close it off. Exhale through the right nostril. Keep going just like that. This is a really calming, I sound so funny right now, equalizing breath that can be used in the morning to start your day, in the beginning of a yoga practice, times when you're feeling stressed. A couple more rounds here. We'll end the next time I always choose to talk when I sound like this. We'll end the next time you breathe out of the left nostril. Bring your right hand to your right thigh or knee. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And breathe it out through the nose. One more time, in through the nose. And out through the nose. Now just let your breath become natural. Filling up with every inhale. Releasing belly button to spine with every exhale. Noting where the breath moves in the body. And just for the next 15 seconds, just scan the body from the head to the toes. Noticing tension, resistance, neutrality in the body and the muscles. And just accepting whatever it is you feel in the body today. Let's take one final big breath in through the nose. Sigh it out and stick out the tongue. Then blink open the eyes if you have them closed, and we'll move to a tabletop position, stacking your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. And we'll just take some movement back and forth here, bringing the shoulders past the wrists, and then coming back, keeping the toes curled under, sinking the seat towards the heels, stretching out the feet. Just do that a couple more times. And then as you're ready, start to turn the fingers so they face the long edges of the mat. We're gonna take these rocks side to side, moving to the left and the right. And then if it's comfortable, you can turn the fingers so that they face one another and the wrist creases face the long edges of the mat. This will be a little bit more intense. Your range of motion might start to decrease. Stretching through all 5 of the fingers, the wrists. And then finally, if you want, you can turn the fingers to face the knees if that's comfortable. If not, they might be at more of a 45-degree angle, but if they can face the knees, that's great. Take some rocks back and forth once more. Again, your range of motion won't be as big as it was in our neutral tabletop position. You'll start to feel this stretch in your forearms. And then just gently come back through center, turn the hands back to their normal position, and then bring your right forearm down to the mat with your palm facing up. Go ahead and walk your knees in a little bit closer. Take your left knee and just start to massage your forearm with the knee. Just getting into all those tight spots. We don't often give our forearm a lot of love, so this might not feel great, but it will when it's over. If you have a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball, you could always do that with those as well. If you find a spot that's extra sticky, maybe stay there for a minute or two. And then when you're ready, just come back to neutral tabletop position. Take a moment, take a breath, move the neck side to side, and then take the left forearm down to the mat, palm facing up. So the forearm's parallel to the top of the mat. And then bring your knees in ever so slightly, and then bring your right knee to the left forearm. Massage it, move it around, whatever feels good. Stay in one spot a little bit longer if you feel like that's necessary. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, just return back to that tabletop position. Walk your hands slightly in front of your shoulders. Spread your fingertips nice and wide. Tuck the toes if you haven't done so already, and lift the hips up to the sky for your downward facing dog. Now in your down dog, keep the knees bent. It can be a big bend, it can be a little bend, but really focus on sending the chest to the thighs and reaching the tailbone up to the sky, finding length in the spine. So your knees can be as bent as you'd like. You can be here, you can be here. Find what feels right in your body at this moment. Take a couple breaths here, focusing on length again, pressing chest to thighs. And then when you're ready, start to reach your heels down towards the ground. Feel that stretch move into the calves, the backs of the legs. It's okay if your feet don't touch, or your feet are touching the ground. If your heels don't touch the ground, that's okay. Just energetically reach them to that place. Imagine that they eventually will touch.
And the next time you inhale, come all the way up to the tippy toes. Take a breath here. Again, you should feel a nice stretch in your calves and in the front of the legs by the ankles. And then let both of the heels go over to the right. Bend the knees and really press into the left hand. So your knees are facing the left side here. You'll feel a nice deep side body stretch. You can stay here if you want. You can bring this into a side plank, staggering the feet, reaching that left arm up and over the head. And then bring that left hand down, come back to your downward facing dog. Take an inhale, come up to the tippy toes. And then move both of the heels over to the left. Bend the knees, press into the right hand, feel that length in the right side body. Send your breath there, let it be expansive and opening. And then maybe stagger the feet, come into a side plank, reaching the right arm up and over the head. Still moving gently, even though this is more of a stretching class, getting some movement in. And then coming back to your down dog and stepping your right foot in between the hands. Drop the back knee and keep those toes tucked. Bring the hands to the hips for your low lunge. Now in your low lunge, think about pressing your heel of your right foot and the knee of your left foot in towards one another, and you'll feel your left hip flexor really actively start to stretch. When you're ready, you can bring the fingertips up to the sky, relax those shoulders, spiral the pinkies in towards one another. One more breath here. And then let that right arm just fall off towards the side of the right hip and take a side body stretch to the right, taking those left fingertips up and over, lengthening the left side body. You can stay here. If you want to turn this into a twist, you might take that left elbow all the way around to hook outside of the right thigh, pressing your elbow into thigh and your thigh back into your elbow. Press your palms into one another and gaze over your left shoulder, right shoulder rather. Breathing here, finding length in the spine when you inhale and a slightly deeper twist when you exhale. I'm feeling a really nice opening in the outside of my right hip. Just remember, you can always stay in that side body stretch. One more full cycle of breath here. And then make your way back to center. You can keep your hands at your heart. And from here, bring your arms out to a T. We'll take our right arm underneath our left. You can either give yourself a nice big hug here, or you can wrap your right arm all the way around, bringing palms to touch for eagle arms. Now, if you're in full eagle arms, focus on bringing your elbows in line with your shoulders and pressing your forearms away from your face. Stretching out the upper back, pulling the shoulder blades apart from one another. Take an inhale, lift the fingertips up, find a little back bend. And then on your exhale, just fold to the inside of the right knee. Keep pulling that right hip back, reaching the fingertips towards the ground. We're opening our upper back and we're also opening our right hip. One more breath here. Stay low, start to unwind the arms, plant the hands, lift that left knee off the ground and take the right foot all the way back to a three-legged dog. Take a big in-breath here. And on your exhale, let the right foot come down to meet the left. Let's take that on the other side. Bring the left knee in towards the nose, step it in between the hands, come down to the right knee, keeping the toes tucked, hands to hips, low lunge.
So again, you're pulling that left heel towards the right knee and the right knee towards the left heel. You'll feel an active stretch in the right hip flexor. When you're ready, you can reach your fingertips up to the sky. Relax your shoulders, spiral pinkies in. Good, and then when you're ready, let that left arm fall off towards the left side and let the right fingertips reach up and over the head, side body stretch. Stay here and just focus on that length in the right side of the body. Or if you want to turn this into a twist, you can take that right elbow all the way around, hook it outside of the left thigh, bring the palms to touch. Really press that right elbow into left thigh and left thigh back into right elbow, gazing over your left shoulder if it feels okay. One more full breath. As you're ready, start to make your way back through center. And again, we'll find eagle arms, so bring your arms out to a T. You can bring your left arm underneath your right this time. Give yourself a nice big hug, or wrap that left arm all the way around. Bring the palms to touch, elbows in line with shoulders, forearms press away from the face. On your next inhale, reach the fingertips up and over the head. And on your exhale, fold to the inside of the left knee, stretching the shoulders and the hip. Start to unwind the arms, planting the hands on either side of the left foot. Reach that right knee off of the ground and come back to a three-legged dog, lifting the left leg high. Take an inhale here, and on your exhale, left foot comes right next to the right foot. One big inhale here. Exhale, sigh it out. And then as you're ready, drop the knees, find a child's pose. Big toes come to touch, knees separate. And just reach the seat back towards the heels. Take a couple breaths here to reset. We're moving into some gentler stretches. Not quite as much movement. So find your nice, slow, even breath. Just another breath or two in this child's pose, finding a moment of reset. And then as you're ready, start to slither forward. We're coming into a Sphinx pose. So you'll keep your forearms on the ground. You'll lower the belly. And just the feet can be any distance apart that you'd like. I like to keep mine kind of wide for this variation. Press into the tops of the feet. Reach the heart through the biceps. Just keep your gaze focused or your eyes closed. Relax your shoulders. One more full breath. So from here, we're setting up for a half frog variation. So you can kind of bring your hands all the way down to the mat. So you can kind of use them as a pillow. So the first option is to keep the right leg out long and to just bend that left knee to a 90-degree angle.
So this is the first option. Just stay here, stretching out that left hip. Just a half frog pose. So if you want to add a little bit more for the shoulders, you can start to reach that left arm forward and thread that right arm underneath the left with the palm facing up. And then just bring your right ear down to the mat and stay here, really pressing down into that right shoulder and reaching forward with those left fingertips. Couple breaths. One more breath cycle here. Now this is a funky position, so come out of it nice and slow. Start to walk the left hand back into the center of the body and then press into that left hand to kind of bring that right arm back to a neutral position. Go ahead and take that left leg back. Find your Sphinx pose for just a breath. And then again, go ahead and stack the hands on top of one another, and we'll take that to the other side. So this time your left leg stays out nice and long. You're gonna bend that right knee, bring it into a 90-degree angle. Keep the foot flexed, and you can stay here if that's enough of a stretch. Just a gentle opening in the hip. If you wanna add a little bit more love for the shoulders as well, not quite as comfortable of a position, but it feels good in my opinion. You're gonna take those right fingertips forward, thread the left arm underneath the right, come down to the left shoulder, the left ear, and as you press down into the left shoulder, reach forward with the right fingers. Just breathing here. Letting any thoughts or sensations that come up just pass by. One more breath. Start to walk the right hand back in towards the center of the body, pressing into the right palm, unwinding that left leg, and then coming back to a Sphinx pose. Take a breath here, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and then start to walk the hands back into center. Go ahead and tuck those toes. We're gonna come to sit on the heels. So we're stretching out the feet here, giving them a little bit of love, and just stay here for a moment. All of the toes should feel a nice stretch, a nice opening, the feet, the ankles. And then from here, interlace the hands, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and reach the knuckles down towards the ground, opening the heart and the shoulders. Look up just ever so slightly, feel that nice stretch. I'm really pressing the heels of my hand together instead of keeping them separate. That gives me a nice, more intense stretch. And then from here, you can start to bring both of those interlaced hands over towards your right side body, and then take your right ear to your right shoulder. Nice stretch on the left side of the neck. Lots going on here, the neck, the shoulders, the back, the feet, the toes, lots of stretching.
And then when you're ready, come back through center, reach the knuckles down towards the earth, look up. And then take those hands over to the left side of the body. And then just take that left ear to the left shoulder. Right shoulder is reaching down. One more breath. And gently release, coming back through center, maybe taking one more stretch here. And then letting go, coming to a wide-legged seated position, facing the long edge of the mat. So wide-legged is different for everybody. So maybe wide-legged for you is just a little bit wider than a typical forward fold. Maybe you bring it out a little bit wider. And if you want to open the inner thighs even more, you can come to your widest straddle position. And only come as wide as you can. If this is the only stretching that you've done today, you might not be super open. Take an inhale, reach the fingertips up to the sky. And on your exhale, just start to hinge forward and fold. Keeping the spine nice and long at first, really lighting up the inner thighs. And then as you're ready, you can let the arms come down towards the ground and just round forward, tucking your chin to your chest. You can always make fists with the hands, stack them on top of each other, and rest your forehead on your top fist. If that's still super far away, you could also stack pillows and then stack your fists, or just stack lots of pillows and rest there. Just a couple breaths here. Whenever you're ready, just slowly start to roll back up to seated, one vertebrae at a time. Draw some circles with the neck. After a couple, just switch directions. Eventually, we'll all come down to lie on our backs, taking your time to get there, moving nice and slow. And when you arrive, we'll set up for pigeon pose or figure four on our backs, planting the feet hips width distance apart. Take a moment to rest here. And then lifting up that left leg, crossing it over the right knee. Keep a strong flex in the left foot. And just gently press that left knee away from the face. This might be enough, and you stay here. If you want a little bit more, maybe you bring that right knee in towards the chest, interlacing the hands behind the thigh. And as you press the right knee in towards the chest, make sure you're still pressing that left knee away from the face. And from here, if you want a little bit more, you can take the hands to the right shin. We'll intensify the stretch even more. Wherever you are, your only goal is to breathe. Just let this stretch take over. One more breath. As
As you're ready, that left leg will start to wrap all the way around the right. You're gonna bring your feet back down to the ground, bring your hips to the left and your legs to the right. And then take that left arm out to a T. You're in a gentle twist. Just a few breaths here. When this side feels complete, you'll come back to center, bringing both of the feet to plant on the mat once more, coming back to that neutral position. Take a moment, take a breath, slow down before we move to the other side. And then when you're ready, you'll lift that right leg, flexing through the right foot and crossing the right ankle over the left knee. Gently pressing that right knee away from the face. You can stay here if this feels good. Please don't go anywhere, just be here. If you want a little bit more, start to bring that left knee in towards the chest. Maybe you wrap the fingers around the left thigh. This side might feel different, so maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you want a little bit more on this side, so you bring the fingertips to interlace above the left shin. Breathing here. And start to let that right leg come all the way around to the other side of the left leg. You can bring your toes down to the ground, at least your left toes, and then bring your hips to the right and let your legs come off to the left. Either bringing that right arm to a 90-degree angle or out long. And your gaze is gently over your right shoulder. Maybe you close your eyes. As this side feels complete, start to make your way back through center, bringing the feet back to a neutral position. Taking a breath here just to reset, and then hugging the knees into the chest, rocking side to side, creating this tiny little ball. Maybe from here you lift the head, neck, and shoulders off the mat, bringing the forehead towards the knees. Again, making yourself nice and tiny. Take a deep breath in. Allow that tension to move throughout the body. Allow the body to feel tension in this moment. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, sigh it out. Let everything go. Set up for your Shavasana. Lying on the mat. Squeeze those shoulder blades underneath you. Arms come out long. Legs splay out wide. Nothing to do here but be. about what happened before this or what's happening after this. Let go of plans, checklists, to-do lists. Notice if the tongue is pressing into the roof of the mouth. And just let it go. Let it be soft. Notice how that softens the jaw. If you have time, you can stay here longer, pause the video, close your computer, turn off your TV. Just be here as long as you need to. If you're just about ready to come out of your Shavasana with me, start to find tiny movements in the body, wiggling fingers and toes, rolling out wrists and ankles. When you're ready, reach the fingertips up and over the head. Find a nice long stretch. Reaching through the fingertips, pointing through the toes. And then gently hug the knees into the chest and roll onto the left side or the right side, whatever feels better. Using one of your biceps as a pillow. Take a moment here to be grateful for this time that you set aside today just for you, for your body and your mind. If you have a long day ahead of you, maybe take a moment to set your intention for the day right now. What aspect of your yoga practice can you take off of your mat and into your daily life to make you a better you? When you're ready, press your right hand into the mat and slowly make your way to a seated position. And from that gentle seated position, just as we started, sit up nice and tall, rest the palms on the thighs or the knees. The hips are under the shoulders and the shoulders are under the ears. Notice if the quality of your breath has changed throughout your practice today. And when you're ready, bring your hands to your heart. The light in me loves the light in every single one of you. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Don't forget to comment below. Let me know how class went.
Subscribe to my channel for free yoga videos every week and let me know what you'd like to see next time. Have a great week.